Okay, I used to think that being wealthy or being rich was just about making more money, having a higher income, having a higher salary. But then I started working in finance and I started meeting some really successful people. And I realized that those who get rich quietly, those who get rich without anyone noticing, they play a completely different game. The people who look like normal people on the street but have investments, assets, and wealth, they play a completely different game. So today I'm going to share with you what I've learned working in finance on how people actually get rich quietly, how people actually get rich without anyone else noticing. Okay? Cash is a problem, not a comfort. Okay, be honest with me. Have you ever thought to yourself that if you just had a certain amount of money, if you just had 100K or 1 million or 10 million or 100 million, that your life would be perfect, you would be set, and you wouldn't have to worry about anything in the world? You probably have. Most of us have. But the funny thing is that this exact way of thinking is what keeps so many people stuck, because it trains you to treat money like it's something that needs to be held onto instead of something that is used to make more money. As so many of us were taught to treat cash like it's safety, like it's security, like it's a comfort. We feel so proud when we've saved a certain amount of money. But the difference between the average person and someone who's wealthy or able to build wealth is that they don't treat money like it's a comfort. They treat it like it's something that they want to get rid of. As to the money that they have saved in the bank, money that they have saved, is not security, it's wasted potential for them, because that exact same money could be invested into something. Invested into the stock market, invested into a business, invested into property, or even invested into their own personal development so that they could end up being more valuable or having more skills or making more money themselves. And that's why money is not meant to be hoarded. We've been taught to hoard money, but it's not meant to be hoarded. Yes, of course, you should always have an emergency fund or have some emergency savings. But once you've covered that, every extra pound, every extra dollar, every extra peso should be put to work. It should be invested in something. That's how people actually build wealth. It's not through saving money. So stop asking yourself, how much money do I have saved? And start asking yourself, what can I do with this money? How can I use this money to make even more money? As that shift will completely change your life. Emotional liquidity. People think that wealth is just built through strategy, but I promise you it's not. And this might sound cliche. You guys might say, "Man, this is so cliche." But money isn't just built through strategy. It's built through mindset. It's built through state of mind. Because you could have the best plan in the world, but if your emotions are chaotic, then your financial decisions will also be chaotic. Because you have to remember, we all have to remember that money doesn't just test how smart you are. It doesn't just test your intelligence, but it tests your emotions. Because when you're stressed or when you're anxious or when you're emotional about whatever it is, you will always make bad decisions. As you stop thinking about the future and you start reacting to now, you start reacting to the emotions that you're having. And wealth can't be built through short term actions. Wealth can't be built through short term thinking. It just can't. That's why people, when they have investments in the stock market and things aren't going well, they panic sell. It's because they're reacting to their emotions. Or even normal people like you and I, if we're feeling stressed, for example, we might overspend, once again, reacting to your emotions. And in all of these situations, we aren't losing to the financial market, but we're losing to ourselves. We're losing to our emotions. And that's why the quiet rich, they have something I call emotional liquidity. They can hold not just their assets, but they can hold their emotions. They delay gratification. They hold their nerve when things aren't going well. They wait and they're patient and they let time do the heavy lifting. So being calm isn't just about being peaceful or meditating or being zen, but it's one of the most important things and skills that you need to be able to build wealth, to truly build wealth. Because a clear head will always make the right decisions time and time again, every single time. Systems over single moves. I remember when I worked in wealth management where our clients were basically millionaires and billionaires and we were basically making investments for them. One thing I noticed is that people who are wealthy and been able to build wealth, they rarely talk about money in isolation. For example, they wouldn't just buy a property, but they would buy a property, make sure that it gives them some sort of income, like rental income. Then make sure that rental income goes into an investment account. And then make sure that investment account is within a tax efficient wrapper. And what I'm saying might sound confusing or complex, and you might be saying, Mahad, what the heck are you talking about? But the point I'm trying to make is that those who are wealthy and have been able to become wealthy and stay wealthy, they create systems to help them get there, where every single piece in their system is connected, feeding one another. You see, for the average person, or even the way I used to think, a lot of us are looking for one-off solutions. We're looking for that one investment that does really well, that one side hustle that takes off, or that one promotion that makes us feel like we finally make enough money. But in reality, for most people, no single move will make you rich. No single move will make you wealthy. Only a system will, only a system can. So I think for me, what really changed my perspective was not asking myself, Mahad, how can you make money, or how can you achieve this? But asking myself, you have all of these goals, you want to achieve all of this stuff. What systems are you building to make this a reality? What systems? Trust compounds like money. I've noticed in the last few years that a lot of people are chasing the wrong thing. Most people are chasing attention or popularity, but the people who get rich and get successful without anyone noticing, they chase trust. They chase trust because they know that money and wealth and success historically has always flown towards trust. It always has, and it always will. So while 99% of people are chasing the wrong things, and I'm not just talking about attention, but there are loads of things that people are chasing, the quiet rich are chasing trust and credibility. They're chasing it every single day. Where those who are honestly able to quietly get rich, they show up on time, they deliver when it matters, they keep their promise, they do good work, they make sure they're visible. Also, people trust them, and also they are seen as someone who is credible in whatever field, in whatever they do. And that's why when you optimize for trust, when you begin chasing trust, you will reach a point where opportunities find you without you even having to go look for them. That's how powerful it is. So always remember that reputation is so important, trust is so important, credibility is so important. It buys you chances that money can't. It opens doors that hustle can't. So build it like your life depends on it. Wealth is freedom, not numbers. Let me ask you something. If tomorrow your income just magically doubled out of nowhere, but your time and your freedom was cut in half, would you really be richer? Would you? The funny thing here is that people often measure wealth in terms of numbers, in terms of what your net worth is or how much money you have in the bank account. But those who quietly get rich, they measure wealth in terms of freedom. Because to them, wealth is their ability to buy back their time, to buy back their freedom, to buy back their focus. And I'll never forget, there was this entrepreneur I met who told me that he said something along the lines of, you know you're wealthy when your day belongs to you. Not your boss, not your bills, but it belongs to you. And it's so incredibly true. So always remember that money is just stored freedom. Because in the end, the goal isn't to have more digits in our bank account. That isn't the end goal. But it's to have more days that feel like they belong to us. Where your time, your freedom, and your choices, they aren't rented. They're yours and they belong to you. Thank you for watching this video, guys. I hope you found it valuable. If you would like more videos like this, make sure you comment down below, because we are getting our money up, not our funny up.